A few days before the wedding, I suddenly found out that my fiancé had a child with his first love. I went to confront them, and Emily knelt in front of me holding a baby covered in rashes, saying, "I only used Lucas's sperm, we really never had a relationship. I'm begging you, stop poisoning my daughter." Seeing the child covered in injuries, Lucas was instantly furious. This heartless woman can even harm a newborn baby. He broke off the engagement and sent me to a foreign estate to be a nanny, and I was gone for 5 years. 5 years later, I ran into him at the kindergarten gate. When he saw my 5-year-old daughter, he coldly said, "I'm afraid Emily and Sophia will be upset, so let the child call me uncle from now on." I calmly smiled and said, "You're mistaken, it's brother." After 5 years, Lucas had really turned into a perfect dad. At the kindergarten gate, he and Emily held Sophia's hands together, happily swaying like they were on a swing. Other parents gathered around, their eyes full of envy. Everyone said, "This year, your family will definitely be recognized as a model family again. You two are such a perfect match, and Sophia is smart and well-behaved." It really makes us parents envious. If Lucas and Sarah had married back then, it surely wouldn't have gone well. The two families were too different. The old man disapproved of her poor family and would never agree to the marriage. Who knew Sarah was so persistent? She just wanted to climb the social ladder and become someone important. The parents of the students outside were gossiping, making me feel worthless. Lucas seemed quite happy, picking up Sophia with one arm and about to leave when he saw me. His smile instantly vanished. The man was a bit surprised, but then his eyes showed disdain. "Sarah, when did you come back? You actually followed me here?" When the man looked down, he saw my daughter, and his expression changed immediately. He frowned and asked, "Did you secretly have a child just to marry me? Did you even ask for my opinion?" Lily was so scared that she shrank back, clutching my clothes tightly, looking up at Lucas with a pitiful expression. The parents saw the scene and all turned their attention to my daughter, their tone filled with disdain. "You think bringing a child back will make Lucas change his mind? This tactic is too ruthless. Do you really think having a child will lead to marriage? Have you watched too many dramas? One poor soul isn't enough. Now you want the Thompson family to raise another little poor soul? You two women are really taking advantage." Lily felt the hostility and started to cry in fear. Lucas quickly pulled us aside and whispered, "If you're not afraid of embarrassment, I'm even more afraid. Listen, Sarah, this child must call me uncle from now on." I was about to speak when Sophia suddenly rushed over and pushed Lily hard. "How can you look like your father? You little brat, don't try to steal my dad." Emily speaks a bit bluntly, and the child doesn't know how to choose her words, so don't take it to heart, Sarah. She suddenly changed the subject, "But you can't really be thinking of using the child to achieve your goals, can you?" She looked Lily up and down, her gaze full of provocation. Truly a mother-daughter duo, with that domineering and assertive aura, they are simply identical. I was furious and immediately pulled my daughter behind me, gritting my teeth at Lucas, "Take care of your daughter." I never thought of using a child to achieve any purpose. To my surprise, he misunderstood my meaning and became smug, saying, "Sarah, if you want to marry me, just say it directly, no need for roundabout ways." This looks really bad. I closed my eyes, feeling a wave of bitterness in my heart. My throat went dry as I raised my hand to shake my wedding ring. "I'm sorry, but I'm already married." After a long while, I heard a cold laugh beside my ear. "Sarah, you're still carrying my child. Who would want a woman who's had a child?" The man tightly grabbed my wrist, casually glanced at the ring on my hand, and wore that familiar look of disdain on his face. After saying that, he suddenly bumped my shoulder and got into the car with Emily and her daughter. The daughter felt wronged and quietly said that Sophia is mean, adding that Lily has a dad and won't steal someone else's dad. I gently comforted Lily, coaxing her to go to the kindergarten to complete her enrollment procedures. Lily is right, she has a dad, and Lucas doesn't qualify. Ever since Lucas sent me to the manor to be a nanny, I stopped thinking about him. But the next evening, the kindergarten teacher suddenly told me that Lily had been picked up by someone. In the next moment, I received a call from Lucas. It truly shows that people raise children just like themselves. Your daughter is just like you, rude and unreasonable. Indeed, they are a family, even their parenting methods are so poor. You need to come over right now. If you delay any longer, don't blame me for being rude to your daughter. I grabbed my phone and hurried over to the Thompsons without thinking much. As soon as I entered, I saw red scratch marks on Lily's face, curled up in the corner wiping her tears. I was eager to go protect her, but Lucas suddenly blocked my way. Your daughter said that her mom and dad are going to have a wedding. You taught her that, didn't you? You think having a child secretly will make me marry you, and you even let the child go around talking about the wedding. You really know how to manipulate. Let me tell you, even if there is a wedding, it won't matter. I won't go on stage. After a while, he pointed at the unharmed Sophia and sternly said, "Make your daughter apologize to Sophia." I frowned, infuriated by his unreasonable words. Apologize? My daughter's face is scratched by her. Can't you see that clearly? After Emily finished speaking, she hugged Sophia and started crying. I know I was wrong, but Lily shouldn't have said those things to Sophia at kindergarten. Now all the kids are calling Sophia a child without a home. Sarah, I'm okay with whatever you say, but please, let Lily stop bullying Sophia. She's still so young. Seeing that I wasn't going to apologize, Emily cried even harder. Lucas, I've disturbed your life with Sophia, and we have no right to stay here. We'll leave now. Sophia started crying too. Lily and other kids hit me. It really hurts. At that moment, Lucas suddenly rushed over, firmly grabbing my wrist, his voice cold. Sarah, your daughter makes Sophia sad, and now you want to drive Emily away. What exactly do you want? My daughter was already scared, and hearing this made her cry immediately. I tightly hugged the child, my eyes red, and asked, "So what do you want us to do?" Lucas coldly snorted, pointing at the feigning innocence Emily and her daughter, and said slowly, "You two must apologize to them." Ignoring the blood still flowing from Lily's face, he forcefully pulled the child in front of Sophia. Apologize now. Today, I must teach you a good lesson. Lily was crying so hard she could hardly breathe, and I quickly went over to protect her, feeling as though my heart was being twisted. Lily, don't be afraid. Emily is holding Sophia, looking like she's waiting for a show, just waiting for us to apologize to them. Lily has a weak heart. I really can't bear to watch any longer. I clenched my teeth, tasting blood in my mouth, closed my eyes in despair, and whispered an apology. Are you satisfied now? The situation isn't over yet. Lucas pulled Lily over and pushed her in front of Sophia, commanding, "Apologize quickly." Lily pursed her lips and, with a face full of grievance, said sorry to Sophia. Emily pretended to be sad, her voice trembling as she said, "I'm too selfish, only thinking about having my own child. If I had known it would cause you not to get married, I should have given up earlier." Lucas shot me a cold glance, one arm holding Sophia, while the other helped Emily wipe her tears. He said, "Sarah has wanted to marry me for nearly 10 years. Do you think she will let go so easily? Don't be fooled by her firm words. On the wedding day, she'll definitely dress up beautifully and beg to marry me." Seeing the arrogant and triumphant expression on Emily's face, my heart felt like it was stabbed by a knife. I ignored their cold jibes and walked straight past a few people out of the Thompsons' house. With a loud bang, the door slammed shut, and my heart tightened suddenly. I couldn't help but scoff. No wonder Lucas could leave me unattended for 5 years while I was abroad. Even today, 5 years later, he still thinks I would be crying and begging him to marry me. In fact, he overestimates his control over this relationship. He thinks everything is under his control and that he can act without restraint. But these past 5 years, I've struggled and wrestled with my feelings, leaving me utterly exhausted. I'm tired and don't want to go through this anymore. No one will wait for him forever, so I have Lily now. On the day of the wedding, I took my daughter to the venue. But just 1 hour before the ceremony began, Lucas suddenly barged in with Emily and her daughter. He slammed the invitation in my face, shaking with anger as he pointed at me, saying, "I've told you countless times I won't go on stage, yet you keep pestering me." Our daughter is handing out invitations everywhere, telling everyone that her parents are having a wedding. What do you want Emily and Sophia to think? What you're doing is too much. Sophia, who was beside me, had injuries and was wiping her tears in grievance. The other kids said I wasn't Dad's biological child and that Dad was going to marry Lily's mom. They hit me, and it really hurt. Lily was tightly pressed against me, pouting and sobbing, saying that Mom and Dad were going to have a wedding, and I wasn't lying. My heart ached as I held her in my arms, tears streaming down my face, repeatedly apologizing that it was Mom who didn't protect you well. Seeing me cry, Lucas sneered, "Stop pretending to be pitiful, everyone can see you're desperate to get married. Your daughter is just like you, really good at acting." In the blink of an eye, Lucas finally noticed I was standing there in a beautiful wedding dress, my gaze sharp. His tone was mocking. You seem well prepared. Are you really in such a hurry to get married? I already said I wouldn't go on stage to hold a wedding with you. Why are you insisting on this? Emily was fanning the flames beside us. The groom hasn't even agreed. How can Sister Sarah decide on her own? This made Lucas feel so embarrassed. The man stepped closer, cornering me against the wall, his face dark as he stared at me. Suddenly, the towering champagne tower toppled over without warning, crashing down on me. The wedding dress I had meticulously prepared was instantly ruined beyond recognition. The mixture of wine and blood obscured my vision. I could only vaguely see Lucas's cold gaze, piercing like ice. The atmosphere in the room was heavy, and everyone fell silent, until Sophia suddenly burst into tears, breaking the silence. She shouted, "You are not our family's child. My dad doesn't want to marry your mom. You are not allowed to carry the Thompson surname anymore. It's so ugly." She rushed forward, pushing Lily down onto the shards, and her delicate skin was immediately cut, bleeding. "Lily!" Lucas firmly held my shoulder, preventing me from moving, forcing me to watch the child being bullied. But Lily didn't cry. She held back her tears, stood up, and retorted, "Today is my mom and dad's wedding. I don't want to steal your dad." Lucas frowned when he heard this, turned his head, and lifted my chin forcefully. "Sarah, is this how you teach your daughter to lie? Just to argue with Sophia, you can casually make up lies?" The two glared at each other fiercely for a long time, then the man suddenly turned around and addressed all the guests. "Today, I will not marry Sarah. I'm afraid I've wasted your trip. Since she has everything prepared, today I will marry Miss Emily, to avoid making everyone come here for nothing." Emily was so happy to hear Lucas agree to hold the wedding that she almost lost her balance. The people present immediately began to whisper among themselves. I stood there in a daze, watching them holding hands on the stage. I thought I could leave, but unexpectedly Lucas suddenly spoke up, showing no mercy, and told Sarah to hand over the wedding dress, saying it was useless for her to keep it. After saying that, a few strong men surrounded me, trying to tear off my wedding dress. I clung tightly to myself, curled up in the corner, shouting, "This is my wedding dress. You have no right to take it off." Emily, holding Sophia, watched the scene with a malicious smile on her face. Sophia continued, "That's not acceptable. If you go out in a wedding dress, people will misunderstand us. I'm really sorry, Miss Sarah." She winked at the bodyguard. With a tearing sound, my wedding dress was instantly ripped apart, leaving me almost naked in front of the crowd. I bit my lip hard, trembling uncontrollably all over. Lily's face turned pale with fear as she cried and shielded me behind her. "Mom, don't be afraid. Mom, don't be afraid." Seeing the situation, Emily deliberately pulled Lily over. We happened to need a flower girl, and Lily would be perfect for it. Lily was gasping for breath as the collar choked her, leaving her with no energy to cry. I didn't care about my thin clothing and rushed over, but Lucas grabbed me. "What's wrong with being a flower girl? Are you regretting holding on?" I watched as Lily's complexion worsened, feeling extremely distressed. Mom, please help me." Emily's grip didn't loosen at all, clearly wanting to suffocate Lily. Just when Lily was about to faint from exhaustion, the main door of the venue was suddenly pushed open. A man in a suit slowly walked in and said sternly, "Who dares to bully my wife and daughter?" All eyes at the wedding instantly focused on the man at the door. I shouted at him as if he were a savior, "Ryan, please save the kids." As soon as the bodyguard saw Ryan, he immediately shrank back in fear and quickly let go of Lily. Lucas's expression suddenly darkened, and he stammered, "Uncle?" Ryan tenderly held Lily in his arms, gently stroking her hair and kissing her forehead. "Daddy is here. No one can bully you." The surroundings fell completely silent, only the sound of his footsteps approaching, finally stopping beside me. "Sarah, I wish I had arrived earlier." He gently helped me up, carefully clearing the glass shards from my wedding dress, his eyes red with concern. Lucas was completely stunned by the scene, his limbs weak as he walked over and timidly asked, "Uncle, you haven't finished your words." Suddenly, Ryan raised his hand and slapped him hard, the crisp sound of the slap echoing loudly in the venue. Ryan's gentle expression vanished in an instant, his eyes cold as ice, his voice filled with barely contained anger. "You've got some nerve, huh? Bullying my wife and child. Are you looking to get yourself killed?" Lucas's face turned pale, and he took a few steps back in disbelief, his eyes fixed on me. Sarah, did she really marry you? Ryan rubbed his aching temples and seriously told everyone present, Sarah and I have been married for 2 years, and this is our daughter, Lily. The man's gaze swept around the room, his expression not looking good. He thought to himself, today's wedding was supposed to be simple, just the 3 of us getting together. Why are there so many people here? Finally, his gaze landed on Lucas, clearly waiting for an explanation. Lucas lowered his head, his voice barely audible. Uncle, I thought it was a wedding arranged by Sarah. She always wanted to marry me. Before he could finish, he received another slap, staggering as he nearly fell. Ryan's tone was cold as he suppressed his anger. Is Sarah someone you can just casually call out? If you call me uncle, then you should call her aunt. As for Lily, she is your sister. Do I really need to teach you that? Lucas was instantly furious. He looked like he was about to rush over and grab me. I still forced myself to stay calm and wanted to explain. Uncle, you clearly know my past relationship with her. How could I possibly call her aunt? I was supposed to marry her. When it came to Lily, Lucas raised his hand as if to say something but awkwardly lowered it again. No wonder, it's hard for him to adjust immediately to the fact that his former daughter has suddenly become his sister. At that moment, Lily sweetly called out, brother. As soon as she finished speaking, Lucas suddenly burst into tears, his eyes red. He instinctively reached out to hug Lily, but Sophia suddenly rushed over and grabbed his pant leg. Dad, don't hug her, I hate her. Ryan glanced down at Sophia, his expression darkened, and turned to Lucas, asking, is this your daughter? Since you already have children, you might as well start a family. I can take charge of this matter for your dad. Upon hearing this, Emily, who had been too scared to speak, immediately smiled and hurriedly approached to curry favor. Uncle, since you and Sarah, oh no, I mean since you and Aunt have already married, then Lucas can marry me. You have to help us. Sophia also jumped up happily and proudly showed off to Lily. Yay, Dad can finally marry Mom. I told you long ago that you couldn't win against me. He's my real dad. She happily opened her arms, wanting Lucas to hug her. Emily shyly leaned on his shoulder, secretly feeling happy inside. But unexpectedly, Lucas took a step back, clenched his fist tightly, and said softly, I can't marry Emily. The woman's expression instantly turned unpleasant as she awkwardly forced a smile. Lucas, over here. Sophia suddenly burst into tears, sitting on the ground throwing a tantrum. I want Dad. I want Dad. But Lucas completely ignored them, just staring at me with a pleading look. Sarah, how could you take it upon yourself to marry my uncle? You clearly promised to marry me. I walked over to Ryan in my wedding dress, laughing as I looked at Lucas. 5 years ago, when you sent me to the manor, we had already broken up. How could you still think I would marry you? Now I'm married to Ryan, and we have Lily. I'm very happy. After Lucas heard this, he couldn't help but rush over and grab my arm. How could you be happy? Sarah, have you forgotten that we were together for 5 years? We had even discussed marriage. Stop lying to yourself. Just as Ryan was about to speak, I reached out to stop him and stepped forward. Lucas, don't be so self-righteous. What does 5 years mean? Not loving someone is not loving them. Even after 50 years, I would still leave you. Lucas froze, staring at me with red eyes, dumbfounded. At that moment, Lily rubbed her eyes, looking sleepy, her little head resting on Ryan's shoulder. She said softly, Daddy, I want to sleep. Suddenly, Lucas rushed over and grabbed Lily into his arms. I'm your daddy. Please don't leave your daddy, okay? Lily was terrified and cried out, You're not my daddy. You're just my brother. Ryan panicked and quickly pulled Lily back, saying seriously, Hurry and take your girlfriend and child and leave. Don't mess around here. I didn't say a word and just slapped Lucas. The slap wasn't hard, but it was enough to stun him, leaving him frozen in place. I had never hit him before, not even during an argument. He probably never expected that I would resort to violence to protect my current family. Lily is definitely not your daughter, I can guarantee that. Don't disturb Lily again in the future. After saying this, I pulled Ryan and turned to leave. After a while, Lucas finally came to his senses and started shouting behind us, loud enough for everyone at the wedding to hear. After leaving the venue, Ryan gently helped me into the car. Lily sat in the back seat, unable to hide her smile. Brother was so scary just now, like he was out of control. Let's not bother with him anymore. The quiet atmosphere was broken, and we couldn't help but burst into laughter. At that moment, a message came through the kindergarten group, announcing that there would be an anniversary celebration tomorrow. Lily leaned out from the back seat, tugging at Ryan's sleeve and pouting, "Daddy, you have to come with me to the kindergarten anniversary, otherwise the other kids will say I'm stealing their daddy." Ryan furrowed his brow in pain, pulled over to the side of the road, turned around, and hugged Lily. Lily is Daddy's little princess, and with him around, he would never let her or her mother be wronged. He gently touched the scar on Lily's face, his hand trembling slightly. I quickly grabbed his hand and said, "Don't be too sad. Difficulties are temporary, and everything will be all right." The next morning, our family of 3 went to the kindergarten. The other parents quickly recognized Ryan. No one expected my husband to be him. Their attitude became particularly polite, and they took the initiative to build a rapport with me. Someone said, "We really had no eyes before, completely unaware that you are the wife of the head of the Thompson family." Another person flatteringly said, "Please take care of us in the future, let's not hold the past against each other." Someone else complimented, "The moment I saw Lily, I thought she had an extraordinary demeanor. She looks like a young lady from a wealthy family, and I genuinely like her." Mr. Ryan and Miss Sarah are a perfect match. If they had held their wedding in the country earlier, everyone would have blessed them. In the blink of an eye, Lily received many gifts and became the most eye-catching little princess of the event. I'm used to such fickle behavior, so I didn't take it to heart. Ryan couldn't stand seeing his daughter being wronged, and with a stern face, he warned everyone that anyone who bullied his daughter would not be spared. Everyone quickly apologized, nodding in agreement. At the anniversary celebration venue, Ryan, as a representative of the parents, went on stage to speak and decided to donate a sum of money to the kindergarten. "As long as my daughter is happy, I will donate any amount. As a father, that's all I wish for." Everyone cheered happily upon hearing this. I was sitting in the audience clapping, when suddenly someone grabbed me and dragged me into the hallway. When I saw it was him, I struggled hard and angrily shouted, "Let go." Lucas covered my mouth, and only then did I notice his eyes were red. After a while, he released his hand, leaned closer, and whispered, "Sarah, can you please stop pretending to be happy in front of me? This really makes me feel uncomfortable. Everyone says you and my uncle are a perfect match, but I don't think so." As soon as I finished speaking, I raised my hand and slapped her, frowning and impatiently saying, "Who do you think you are? Do I really need to make you uncomfortable? I'm telling you the truth. I'm really happy with Ryan, something you can't give me." Lucas pushed me hard against the wall, his eyes red, shaking with anger. He stared at me for a long time, suddenly wanting to kiss me. I pushed him away with all my strength and dodged. "Let go of me. I find you disgusting." As soon as the words left my mouth, Lucas immediately released his grip, staring at me in shock. His tears suddenly fell, his voice trembling, "Sarah, I'm not disgusting. There's really nothing between Emily and me, please believe me. I can assure you, Sophia is indeed a test tube baby, I'm clean." Seeing him on the verge of losing control, I couldn't hold back any longer. "The past has nothing to do with me anymore, and I don't care what happened between you and her." Just then, Ryan came over and took me away. He bluntly warned Lucas, "With your dad gone, no one is watching you. Do you want me, your uncle, to take care of you?" Lucas clenched his fists, looking defiant. The two of them stared at each other coldly for a while, and Ryan pulled me away. At that moment, the kindergarten teacher hurried over, breathless, saying that Lily and Sophia had gotten into a fight. We managed to pull them apart in time, but both of them were a bit hurt. After hearing this, we immediately followed the teacher to the classroom. When we got to the classroom, Lily was hiding in the corner, silent and clearly frightened. Sophia, however, was still with the other kids surrounding her, looking down and accusing, "You always steal my spotlight and take my friends. I really dislike you." Sophia's arrogant demeanor was strikingly similar to her mother's, making her quite unlikable. Ryan stepped forward to protect Lily and turned to glare at the late principal. "Is this how you normally manage discipline? My daughter has already been hurt once, this is the second time, and I can't tolerate it anymore." Upon hearing this, Sophia suddenly burst into tears, tightly hugging Lucas's leg. "Daddy, I'm scared. This uncle is so fierce. And that Lily, I dislike her the most. Mommy doesn't like her either." At that moment, Emily arrived just in time and saw Sophia's aggrieved expression, immediately stepping in front of her. "Lucas, how can you just watch your daughter suffer? You promised me." Lucas's anger intensified as he coldly said, "Apologize to Lily." Sophia was stunned, and Emily was also taken aback. In the past, Lucas always protected Sophia, not allowing her to suffer even a little. But now, he actually made her apologize to someone else. Emily was furious, straightening her neck to retort, "Lucas, wake up. Lily is not your biological child. Sophia is your child. How can you side with an outsider?" But the man still ignored her, pushing Sophia forward and coldly saying, "Apologize." Sophia glared at her daughter, looking very reluctant, but in the end, she gritted her teeth and said sorry. I noticed the discontent in Emily and her mother's eyes. For safety's sake, I suggested that I think it would be better for Lily to transfer schools. I can't keep watching her being bullied, nor do I want the children to continue taking risks. Just as I was about to take Lily away, Lucas suddenly said, "Lily doesn't need to leave, it was Sophia's fault, and I will make her transfer." This statement surprised me a lot. Why is he protecting Lily so much when she isn't even his biological daughter? Emily and her mother got into a huge argument in the classroom. We really couldn't stand it anymore, so we took Lily home first and decided to wait for Lucas's father to return after the memorial. On the day of the funeral, we arrived at the Thompson family's cemetery early in the morning. During the memorial, Lucas pulled me aside away from everyone else and said, "Sarah, do you remember? Back then, my dad strongly opposed our marriage, but I insisted on marrying you. You should understand my feelings. Now I really regret it. If you're willing to break up with my uncle, I'll marry you immediately and treat Lily as my own daughter, ensuring she never suffers." But even now, he still wants me to marry him, which is ridiculous. No matter how deep the feelings were, they completely ended on that day 5 years ago. Now that he has come back to find me, it only makes me feel disgusted. I placed the flowers in front of the tombstone and bowed. "I'm already married now, it's inappropriate for you to keep pursuing me like this." Lucas suddenly grabbed my arm, his voice filled with pleading, "Can you divorce my uncle? I can't live without you." This sentence was overheard by Ryan, who immediately got angry. "Lucas, I've tolerated you for long enough. Since you still refuse to wake up, don't blame me for taking action." In the evening, everyone returned to the manor for dinner, and Emily and Sophia also came. Ryan leaned back in his chair and said seriously, "My brother is gone, now the Thompson family is under my control. As the head of the family, I cannot let the descendants of the Thompson family be left helpless outside. Lucas, I have arranged your wedding with Emily, it's happening tomorrow." Lucas suddenly stood up, trying to suppress his anger, said, "Uncle, don't push me." Seeing there was no room for negotiation, he turned and walked in front of me, as if making a significant decision. "Sarah, if I take you away now, will you come with me? I promise to never have any contact with Emily and her daughter again, as long as you are willing to leave." I didn't look up, continued eating calmly, and said, "Congratulations on your wedding." Upon hearing this, Lucas's expression changed immediately, and he sneered, "Fine, I'll get married right now to show you." After saying that, he pulled Emily and her mother out of the restaurant without looking back. Seeing them leave, I finally felt a bit relieved. If he could marry Emily, that would be just perfect. Ryan and I exchanged a smile, then calmly finished our dinner. Before I knew it, the wedding day had arrived. As I went to the restroom, I happened to run into Emily. She flaunted her diamond ring, her tone still unfriendly. "How's that? In the end, I won. Lucas is marrying me, you will never win against me in this lifetime. Lucas still loves me deep down, you will never win against me." I smiled politely, saying that I was quite happy for them to get married. "Wishing you both a happy marriage." Noticing that I wasn't jealous, Emily clearly wasn't pleased. She shot me a glare and defiantly said, "Sarah, just wait and see. When Lucas and I get married, don't cry." The wedding started on time. As Sophia, the flower girl, handed the rings to the couple, Lucas deliberately delayed. He kept glancing at me, taking his time to take the rings. "Dad, quickly help Mom put on the ring, then we'll be a family." Emily urged anxiously. "Lucas, stop teasing, I've been waiting for this day for so long, my heart is racing." I sat in the audience, like everyone else, stretching my neck to watch him put the ring on Emily. After a while, Lucas finally moved, but when he saw me sitting there nonchalantly, the ring fell from his hand onto the floor. A crisp sound echoed at the wedding venue. The audience immediately stirred. Then, Lucas suddenly stepped off the stage and came directly to me, his eyes red. Sarah, how could you bear to watch me marry someone else? You're being too much. I moved closer to Ryan and said coldly, today is your wedding day, stop causing a scene. Seeing that I had no reaction, Lucas frowned. Sarah, don't you understand yet? As long as you nod, I won't marry Emily, I'm just being stubborn. On stage, Emily wore a beautiful wedding dress but looked very awkward. Lucas, why did you lie to me? What's so good about this woman? Sophia cried out, I want daddy, I want daddy. The wedding scene became chaotic all of a sudden. Ryan quietly reminded, words once spoken cannot be taken back. If you regret it now, what will others think of our Thompson family? Get back on stage quickly. But Lucas remained motionless. The people around were whispering to each other. Emily looked upset, running down the stage while holding her dress, glaring at me fiercely. She gritted her teeth and said, no wonder you're not angry, you already knew Lucas was going to cancel the wedding. Didn't you arrange it? You just want to see me make a fool of myself, don't you? I felt a bit impatient, placed Lily in her seat, and slowly stood up. I came to the wedding today only as an elder, with no other intentions. If you're not having the wedding today, then we'll have to leave first. After saying that, I gave Ryan a look and prepared to leave. Just as I turned around, I caught a glimpse of Emily suddenly grabbing a dinner knife from the table and lunging at me. Watch out! Before I could react, Lucas had already rushed in front of me, blocking that knife. Emily turned pale with fright. Lucas! Why did you help her block that? Lucas turned to look at me, a slight smile on his lips. Sarah, let this be the last time I protect you. He stared at Ryan, gripping my hand tightly, his brows furrowed. If you truly love each other, then I can only step aside. After saying that, he collapsed to the ground, his white suit stained red with blood. The wedding ended abruptly like this. Lucas was taken away by an ambulance, while Emily was immediately sent back to her home country and sentenced for intentional injury. The doctor said that the stab wound hit the marrow, and Lucas may never be able to stand up again. Upon hearing this news, Ryan had no reaction, just asking the doctor to do their best to treat him. It had to come to this before that kid would settle down. At that moment, Lily suddenly threw herself into his arms, sweetly whining, Daddy, can you take me and Mommy on a trip around the world? You promised us before. Ryan's heart softened upon hearing this, and he immediately nodded in agreement, looking indulgently helpless with his daughter. Okay, it's a promise. Under the setting sun, the three of them leaned against each other, running towards a happy future.